life, style, record.
Thank you, God Pill. Send me a donation early. God Pill.
More than just rap, it's a lifestyle. Got me trapping, making money on my PayPal. Keep the 9 on me, nigga, like it's K-Cow. I took the whole pill, boy, I ain't coming down. I got some pills and some pounds, send them out of town. She said the pussy wet, so I'm tryna drown. Now I don't listen to nobody, got my own sound. I'm the ringleader, boy, you a fucking clown. Now if it ever go down,
y'all better take God Pill advice
down for the game, nigga,
and get that moolah.
Poet, make my pictures roll it, name it, probably sold it. 100,000 on my neck, I froze it. In the trap, I'm cozy. Flow harder than the SATs, grew up banging RGB. Niggas throwing shade, I just chill up under money tree. Niggas from the hood, now they wanna see us overseas. Young black man, about to build his own company. Poet.
God Pill say, bet the house. You better listen to her. She knows about her money. Huh? I gotta check into that God Pill. I might as well invest in that. If you say something, I might do some investing. I might do some research and put a video up on what you're talking about and fucking around. Huh? Get it, God Pill.
Get 'em.
Sex, money, trust, power, respect, it's a lifestyle. Ain't nothing like you rap niggas live what we be talking about. Been at it for a while. Tell the nigga check my seed file. Whole squad getting money by the pound. They don't want no smoke, I keep the army on speed down. Never leave no witnesses, so there'll never be a trial. 100 round clip, that's a flagrant 9, do your foul. Pull up on your squad, cocaine squeal. Model bitches on my dick, I swear was there before the deal. She don't do gymnastics for the squad, I bet she called Will. Pop that pussy like a pill, pop that pussy for the real. Off this rap, we making racks, now it's time to get the meals. Niggas said we wouldn't be shit, they like cause we is the shit. Mad cause they striking that we bury bombs with the hits. See your wifey backstage, she wanted me to sign her till she said she thirsty. I ain't selfish, so I let her drink the kiss. Life is good, life is great, they doing that, that's why they hate after this verse. Say I'm the best, look at my watch, told them they late. It's no that I BMF, I be your favorite rapper, surrogate. On these beats I urinate, I defecate, ejaculate. Predator, woke up like what I'm gonna eat today. Kill rappers, pile 'em on the pipe. Get in the booth and levitate. You niggas fake, you featherweight. We heavyweight, we dominate. Flow heaven sitting, season like grandma's marinade. Yeah.
Shout out to God Pill with the early donation. Get your advice from God Pill. She said, get your currency up and get what it said. Mulat, the MULN is the new GameStop in AMC. Retail short. Squeeze. The math suggests this will be the best one yet. Hence the massive market crash. We sitting at $1, but now, but 20 plus. We'll be here in weeks. Bet the farm, motherfuckers. Bet the motherfucking farm. Good. Shout out to Tom. And shout out to Beth Roberts. And shout out to Vanessa. She not on here yet. You know what I'm saying? Vanessa, RJ Ben, Slaphead, all the people over here. I forgot to call Randy, and I forgot to call my boy Sergeant Mo. My bad, y'all, if y'all see this tomorrow. But it's my pre-show birthday show. And it's kind of messed up because we got to talk about what's going on in America, but we can't talk about what happened to these kids today because some shit you just can't talk about and some shit is just not funny. That wasn't funny. What happened today at that school in Texas, that was not funny. You know what I'm saying? You can't, hopefully the Democrats don't try to make nothing political out of it, you know, and just help the families and help the community, you know what I'm saying? And stop trying to make these damn laws that you don't enforce anyway. Now, the reason I made this video, right? Because you all, the Democrats always talking about toughen the laws and do this and do that, right? Now, it makes no sense if you toughen, if you don't enforce the laws you already got. Now, Los Angeles, Buffalo, New York, Texas, and all these places got some of the strictest gun laws in America. That these school shootings are happening at, these mall shootings are happening at, these store shootings are happening at, right? They got some of the strictest gun laws in the world. So it's not the guns. You can ban all the guns you want. You can take all the guns off the street you want. People gonna keep bringing them in. People gonna keep buying them. People gonna keep stealing them. People gonna do whatever the fuck they want to get a gun to protect themselves, right? They got to, right? You can't get no guns off the street, right? You gotta enforce the law that's already here to get the niggas off the street, you know what I'm saying? And stop letting these niggas out to commit more crimes. Now, crime is in America, right? And it's all because of one dude, right? George Soros is funding this shit, right? Now, George Soros just said something a couple of hours ago, and you might gotta believe him, right? George Soros said the Russian war is gonna be the end of our society. Right? He said that's the end. Right? No more society. That's the end of it. This is the end. So you might as well live your best life right now, because if George Soros say something, damn it, you best believe it. Hold on, let's get into it. First, Vladimir Putin say he don't, hey, y'all got, Vladimir Putin said this in the debate. Y'all got somebody in y'all country messing with y'all politics, right? And influencing y'all politics. Just like we got people that influence our politics, right? Y'all say y'all can't do nothing about George Soros. It's funny how George Soros and Bill Gates, the billionaires, can get on TV and spread all kind of misinformation, and nobody says anything because they liberal, right? And they speaking for the liberal parties, right? But you see, like with Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and all these other and your boy, I forgot, Bill Maher, when all these speak up against the Democrats, they all switch on them. Oh, you racist, you this, you sell out, whatever the case may be, right? But as long as you're a billionaire, you stick to the story, you can say anything you fucking want to on social media or CNN or something like that and spread misinformation. They wouldn't dare think about taking you off, right? You can't tell me in all these motherfucking years Bill Gates ain't spread no piece of misinformation, that everything he's saying has been true. He said a lot of shit about the what's it called, the Wuhan, that wasn't true. Who was that sent me one? Oh, Rebecca Giller. Thank you, Rebecca. What Rebecca say? Caught you live, black. I'm broke till Friday. It don't matter. Anything is better than something and nothing. You know what I'm saying? That would go a long way. If people thought like you, I'd be rich. But look, thank you, Rebecca. It's the thought that counts. But do you see, Rebecca, how the billionaires don't get hit with the misinformation, Rebecca? Just us, just the broke people, just the people, or the people that's Republican, or the people conservative, or the people that go against the Democratic Party, right? Them the only people that get censored, right? Bill Gates and George Soros, all the shit they talk, misinformation they give, ain't never even thought about being censored. Never. And Vladimir Putin finna put him on blast. I keep on forgetting to push mute. And Vladimir Putin finna put his ass on blast, right? Put him on blast, put America on blast at the same damn time. Put everybody on blast, Putin. That's why I like Putin. My bad, I don't like him. I hate him.
There is such a person in the United States, Mr. Soros, who interferes in affairs all over the world.
The invasion of Ukraine didn't come out of the blue. The world has been increasingly engaged in a struggle between two systems of governance.
You hear him? The world is in a struggle between two systems of government. It's all a setup. And them governments is colliding and clashing. One government said you can't do this. The other government said I can do what the fuck I want to do, right? One government say you interfering with this. The other one say prove it, right? The other one say you a killer, you this. The other one say no, I'm not, you that. They blame each other for something. Both of them is putting tariffs on each other and all kind of shit. Democracy and autocracy.
That are diametrically opposed to each other.
That are opposed to each other. But the thing is, we don't know which one is which. We live in America, and we damn near controlled by autocracy. But this is the collision. This is the collide George Soros is talking about that's going to end the world.
I often hear from my American friends that America as a state has nothing to do with his activities.
Hell no, America ain't got nothing to do with his activities. Huh? He on here spreading misinformation right now. Huh? America ain't got nothing to do with George Soros. He fun, he do what the fuck he want to do, right? And he influence politics, right? And that let you know money influence politics in America. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. Zuckerberg done the same thing. Putting polls and shit like that inside of certain low-income neighborhoods and stuff and helping them out. He didn't put that shit on Facebook. The rich influence elections over here. They say they don't. Donald Trump say they do. The rich, the people with the money. You putting people in places that control elections, that control criminal justice, that control laws. George Soros.
Open society and closed society.
There are rumors circulating now that Mr. Soros is planning to make the euro highly volatile.
Let me define the difference as simply as I can.
Experts are already discussing this. Ask the State Department why he is doing this.
You get that? Why don't you ask your State Department, why is George Soros doing this? Why is he funding all these district attorneys that implement the way he wants the law to be implemented? Why is the Justice Department letting them get away with it? He influencing elections. He influencing outcome. He influencing the criminal justice system. And y'all just letting them get away with it. That's on y'all. Vladimir Putin said that's on y'all. Why is y'all letting them get away with this? And you talking about we letting people get away with shit, right? And you blaming our government. We can do the same thing. But we can say he's part of your government. Because if he's not, why is y'all letting them get away with this shit?
In an open society, the rule of the state is to protect the freedom of the individual.
And he want an open society everywhere, and the individuals everywhere, right? Freedom of the individual, and that individual is everywhere. Vladimir Putin like, why y'all don't do nothing about this nigga?
The State Department will say that it has nothing to do with these activities.
How the State Department ain't got nothing to do with him? State Department, we ain't got nothing to do with what he doing. We ain't got nothing to do with people he putting in place. We ain't got nothing to do with him implementing our laws, changing our constitution, making our cities dangerous. We ain't got nothing to do with that. He can do what he want.
In a closed society, the role of the individual is to serve the rulers of the state.
And that's what we doing, serving the rulers of the state, right? They don't serve us no more. We serve them. They make us do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? They make us go in the house and stay in the house. They make us lock it down. They make us take the Wuhan, right? We are controlled by them. Huh? We don't control them. They control us. So which one is a democracy and which one is an autocracy? And they colliding.
Rather, it is Mr. Soros' private affair.
It's not, look, it's not our fault. It's Mr. Soros' private affair. He can do what he wants to. That means anybody with money can change the laws if they want to. George Soros is proving it. Huh? The department, the State Department saying it's a private matter. How is it a private matter when he putting district attorneys inside of courtrooms? How is it a private matter when he putting mayors and councilmen and all that stuff inside of city councils? Huh? How is that a private matter when he's affecting our life? Huh? That's not a private matter.
Other issues concerning all of humanity, fighting pandemics and climate change, avoiding nuclear war, maintaining global institutions, have had to take a back seat.
He said all that shit got to take a back seat. Remember all that New World Order they was talking about? A global economy, huh? The fucking global warming system, whatever what'd you call that shit? The earth shit we just said, huh? He said all of that had to be put on the back burner because of Ukraine and Russia war. All of his stuff that he wanted, climate change, that's what I meant to say. Climate change and all of those stuff have to be put on the back burner. Threats of a nuclear war and all that got to be put on the back burner, right? Because George Soros said the war for the end.
To that struggle.
The last 2 years you've been blamed for financial collapse.
Look, and he said he don't give a fuck. This is George Soros in 1998. He said he don't give a fuck about how he collapsed countries, about how he leave countries. He don't give a fuck.
Collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
With
All
us,
the above.
it is Mr. Prigozhin's private affair. This is my answer. Are you satisfied with it?
I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences.
Huh? I do not look at the social consequences after I leave. I'm there to make money. I don't give a fuck about the country. That's what George Soros is saying, right? He crippled these economies, all like 5 different countries, right? What do you think all this burning and looting and immigrant shit that he found, what do you think all that shit is doing? Breaking the country. Think about this, right? You think some of these Hispanics done traveled across 15 damn borders, all the way 15 countries, traveled for 30 days, and didn't even have a damn diaper bag for milk and Pampers. But when they get on the bus, their babies be fully clothed with fresh Pampers and shit. You mean they carry just enough Pampers to get to the border? Or they didn't give a baby the Pamper till they got to the border? How these motherfuckers traveling for days and all they got is a backpack? That don't even make sense.
Of what I do.
That's why I say our civilization may not survive.
Well, for many years, leftist billionaire George Soros has used...
Did you hear that? Our civilization may not... This is 8 hours ago. You can Google this shit. This was 8 hours ago. George Soros said, our civilization may not survive. 8 hours ago. Huh?
Do not...
Our civilization may not survive Russia.
Look at the social consequences of what I do.
That's why I say our civilization may not survive.
Huh? Our civilization may not survive Russia, Ukraine. Straight out of George Soros' mouth. What do he mean by that? He got some inside knowledge? Do he know what the fuck is finna go on? Our civilization will not survive. May not survive. May not, will not, both of them the same damn thing. If somebody say I may kill you or I will kill you, it's the same damn thing. Huh? It may not survive. Mr. George Soros.
Well, for many years, leftist billionaire George Soros has used his wealth to remake our society, American society. His latest area of focus is criminal justice.
Washington County District Attorney's race is getting some unusual attention from far outside Oregon.
You know who far outside Oregon? Mr. George Soros, his damn self. He's influencing elections. But the Justice Department say, hey, we ain't got nothing to do with that. That's him. It's a private matter.
New York billionaire George Soros is financially backing 4 district attorney positions in California.
From Texas to Philadelphia to the state of Virginia, Soros has reportedly spent millions of dollars backing candidates for district attorney, for prosecutor.
In California, 4 of them. 4. In this California alone. Millions. and all of them won.
A political operative tied to liberal billionaire George Soros is now involved in this. What some say appears to be the latest attempt by Soros to influence the criminal justice system. This is a fascinating story, Dan.
Right. No matter where you are on the political spectrum, you should find this interesting.
You have to the voters have to be aware of it, and that's
the voters got to be aware of it. No matter who you are, you got to be aware of this, right? You got to understand who you voting for and who's funding these candidates. You don't know who funded these candidates, right? You pop up and you see this dude name all on billboards, and you see posters come to your house and ask questions about, do you know this candidate? And then they influence you on what candidate to pick and stuff like that. Well, this candidate gonna do this, and they tell you exactly what you want to hear in your house, and go to the next house and tell somebody else the exact opposite on and what they want to hear, right? That's called polling. They're not shooting no commercial or anything like that. They're going locally. It's easy to do a local, right? Because if you got more money, you can get inside, you can knock on more doors, you can put up more posters, right? You can do more local commercials, right? If you got that local money, right? Millions behind his candidates.
It's a great thing about all of us is that there are watchdogs out there. They're watching whether there's influence, unfair influence.
When out-of-state money is thrown behind a candidate in what is usually a sleepy kind of race.
It's hard for voters to even pick a president, let alone a district attorney.
I'm currently serving as your chief deputy district attorney.
Kevin Barton squared off recently with little-known defense attorney Max Wall.
Little well-known. Little well-known. The nigga only hopped in the race a day before the end of the entry. A day before, George Soros funded.
Part of the reason I'm running is that it hasn't been an open election in 20 years.
The retiring district attorney endorsed Barton months ago. Wall threw his name in on the last day to file in March. Rumors swirl Wall is being supported by liberal billionaire George Soros.
He and other wealthy Democrat donors are throwing their support to the tune of millions of dollars behind these potential prosecutors who favor lower incarceration rates and police misconduct.
Lower incarceration rate and police misconduct. Huh? This is what you're getting with George. You mean to tell me this is a private matter? Huh? The Department of Justice can't do nothing? We can't do anything with the Justice Department? With him funding district attorneys with millions of dollars on one side with no experience?
Among other liberal hot ticket agenda items.
In terms of the rumors about money and billionaires, I can tell you that I haven't been promised $1 by anyone. My two largest contributions so far come from two friends, one from college, one from high school.
My biggest donations come from college friends and high school friends for $1,000 each. You know, not only do George Soros district attorneys let out criminals, them motherfuckers also lie in your face like Joe Biden.
$1,000. I've seen and heard some of these rumors, and they are not true.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the election, because this is one of these things where you're influencing the voting pool. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. So it's really interesting that he's taking on that.
But
it's really interesting that they're taking on that. They have funding. They have a special organization just to fund district attorneys that they want in office. The Department of Justice can't do anything about that. The motherfuckers want to take away guns. They want to go after criminals. They want to do all, but you can't go after George Soros. He too powerful. On YouTube and social media talking about the society, the civilization for the end. Come on. Ain't nobody finna say nothing about that. It's not even finna make the local news. They know better than to fuck with George. It probably make Fox or one American News or something like that. Newsmax, but it's damn sure ain't gonna make CNN or MSNBC.
But state campaign finance records now reveal just a day before Wall said that, the brand new Law and Justice Political Action Committee in Washington, D.C. did $12,000 worth of polling for Wall.
Local politics, I ran for office many years ago. Local politics is pretty heated and very closely watched. And even more so than the national politics, because a lot of folks in the community say, this is going to impact my day-to-day. So I really want to watch and vote carefully.
Violent criminals are being released back onto the streets in cities across America thanks to district attorneys that were bought and paid for by George Soros.
That's why you need to know who's backing it, right? When you do these polls, right? When you do polls, you got to, sometimes you knock on doors or you do phone calls. When they answer the phone, that's when you give your spiel. You don't say anything about the other candidate. You don't say nothing about the Republican unless you shoot him down, right? Vote for him. He got this in interest. He gonna build this. He gonna do that. He gonna do this. He gonna change the criminal reform. He gonna do this. It's not just the district attorneys he backing. He's spending millions of dollars on Democrats.
That's on top of $9,000 for campaign operational expenses the same PAC had donated to Wall 2 days earlier.
As riots erupt across the nation, one man is emerging as the face behind the violence: George Soros. The radical left-wing billionaire who's been declared an enemy of the state in his home country of Hungary.
That's a damn shame. That's like you can't come back to the hood. You are enemy of state. This nigga got kicked out of his home state. We got the worst immigrant in the world over here. Huh? He came over here and robbed other countries blind, right? He got kicked out of the country. He can't go back to his home country unless his ass go to jail. He done robbed countries blind, and now his ass over here fucking with our criminal system. Come on, Department of Justice the Justice Department ain't learned yet. What he trying to do, like, nigga, he got a history. He got a record of fucking up people's countries, not just they justice system, nigga, they economic system. You don't think by letting these people out and defunding the police and all these riots and burning down buildings and all this shit George Soros doing, you don't think that shit is breaking the economy? Look how many stores closed down because people just running up in there looting shit. Like, man, we can't afford to keep up with the people that's looting. They said people can steal $1,000, right? We might as well shut down because people coming up here every day stealing $1,000 worth of shit we can't maintain. Stores is empty. Look how many Walgreens and shit done closed down in San Francisco and Washington, D.C. and all. We can't maintain. People coming up here just stealing like this. Like, people buy $100 worth of stuff, then you got a crackhead come up here stealing $1,000 worth of shit. Huh? So for every $100 we make, for every $100 we sell, we get $1,000 stole. We can't keep restocking it because we can't keep rebuying this shit because they're not paying for it. We done saw all kind of news reports, right? I done film up people, right, where people just walk in and try on shit and okay, smash and grab. People, stores got it closed because people done ran up in there and smashed and grabbed and stole all the purses and shit. Huh? You got gangs and people calling on the phone call and stealing shit. Then they get caught and get put right back out. And then the people know who's stealing. Like, we know who's doing this shit. Everybody in LA know who's doing this shit. It's not just one, it's like 100 different people that's from all kind of gangs. Because as soon as one gang done it and they found out they wasn't letting them motherfuckers stay in jail, they started doing it too. Then they start hitting the news and see people coming back bragging and shit what they got and they seeing they ain't being arrested. So everybody started doing it. It started a wildfire. I mean, like it spread like a wildfire. Like, fuck it, ain't arresting people, and I can steal. Long as it ain't 1,000, fuck it. Crackheads doing it, gangbangers doing it, broke niggas doing it, teenagers doing it, niggas doing it for fun. Everybody doing it. Because they let them. The George Soros funded district attorneys is letting people get away with this shit.
Has poured over $220 million into domestic terrorist organizations like Black Lives Matter.
The PAC is run by Whitney Tymus in support of candidates for prosecutor. Tymus also runs a group with a similar name and identical address called the Justice and Public Safety PAC.
Huh? The same address. It's the same business.
With a goal to support candidates for district attorney.
Huh? A goal to support candidates for district attorney. Huh? This is the dude George Soros hired for the director of his public relations and equality, whatever, right? Some kind of shit like that. Personal, but he's the head person of the racial division, whatever, that George Soros funded. He got his own little thing. Funded money from George Soros. $220 million. Huh? 200. Look, that's more, right? That's more than what? 20 million each state. That means he damn near donated 20 minutes. And in some states, he didn't have to donate that many because in some states, not that large in numbers. But imagine how much money he put in cities, in states like New York and California and Texas. Imagine how much money he put in them. Millions. This dude is local. He gave them thousands. Some people get thousands. Some people get millions. It depends on how big your district is, right? And how important your job is. I'm going to give you more money. They make sure you get into the office. The district, I keep on saying the district. The Department of Justice or the whatever Justice Department can't look at this. Right? They look at everything small. They holler about all kind of fraud. They holler about all kind of bullshit, but they can't look at this. They can't look at what he done. They can't even do a question or an investigation of if he had anything to do with the border, or if he had anything to do with the funding the police, or if he had anything with influencing elections. Right? We can't have an investigation if he was behind the Donald Trump shit, like all these conspiracies, and he ain't guilty of nothing. He's not guilty of nothing in America, but every other motherfucking country he's been in, he's been guilty of something. Huh? Russia, Japan, you name it. Every country this nigga been in, he's been guilty of something. Just not in America. When is he going to be finally guilty of something in America? His open society funds underage prostitution. Right? Prostitution is legal in damn near some cities. Especially in LA. Police don't even arrest them no more. Don't even ask them their age. Huh? When is he going to finally break a crime in LA? A crime against humanity, a crime against the economy system, a crime against the justice system, right? Any crime.
IRS filings reveal George Soros has donated thousands of dollars to that PAC.
And thanks to Soros' work reforming the criminal justice system, these fascists are being released right back onto the streets as soon as they're arrested.
Once elected, these candidates have ended cash bail, treated felonies like misdemeanors, and sometimes ignored some crimes entirely.
And to do that, he's literally buying district attorneys in cities across the nation.
Literally buying. No cash bail, George Soros. Who you think came up with that idea? Who do you think came up with the idea of no cash bail? That was in the Open Society, on one of the Open Society platforms. No cash bail for equality to poor people. They should be able to have the same privileges as rich people, as getting out of jail. It's not fair that someone with money get out of jail and someone without money get out of jail, can't get out of jail. Right? It's not fair. So we got to have some kind of equity. We got to make sure some of the people that don't have money get out of jail too. So fuck it, no bail. Not everybody equal. So we're going to let out the rich people and we're going to let out the criminals. You know what I'm saying? So everybody getting out. Don't think the rich people ain't getting out. They happy about the no bail too. That I ain't got to put up a couple of $100,000 good. I ain't got to put up my house good. Just let me out. I come back to court. So this benefits everybody. It could benefit rich people a little bit more than it benefit broke people. Huh? Because remember, they had to put up their house. They had to put up their property. They had to put up their job. They had to put up their business. All that to get out. Now it's just let me out for free too. It works for everybody.
Newspaper and TV headlines reveal Soros and Timus have a history of trying to influence district attorney races in parts of the country.
A history. They have a history. Huh? How is it? It's the news job to investigate it and let the public know what certain people are doing, right? It's the Department of Justice to investigate if this dude is doing something wrong, right? They said he funded Black Lives Matter. They said he funded Rise. They said he funded all of this, right? It wouldn't be out of the realm if he's known already, right, for doing this shit in other countries. It would, like, I could see if this is his first go around. This is his first rodeo, right? But this nigga done this in about 7 different countries. And now he's doing it over here and ain't nobody saying nothing, right? How is it that you gave donations to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama when they was running against each other to try to become president? Huh? Why when Donald Trump brung up, when he brung up the taxes on him, he brung up taxes on them. He's like, okay, you saying I was using the tax. What about the people who fund you, like George Soros and all these billionaires, right, that give you this pack? You know damn well if you make president, you ain't going to go after me because you ain't going to go after them. Because if you go after me, you got to go after them. And that's not going to happen. He put that bitch in her place.
That happened in Philadelphia. He financed our now District Attorney Larry Krasner, who wants to just get rid of bail completely.
I have no idea what my opponent wants to do differently. I think he is being fed talking points by people outside of Washington County and outside of Oregon.
In a new series this week, we're calling it...
That's George Soros, right? Philadelphia, Kansas City, New York, California, you name it, they there. Chicago, New Mexico, you name it, George Soros funded district attorney. They got to understand, why is he damn near undefeated in all his races? Huh? He got a better record than Donald Trump when it comes to people that he so-called support. Huh? That nigga's undefeated damn near, I think. I don't know too many races on the district attorney level that George Gaston lost. And the people that he was funding was some of them was first termers and shit like that, and they was beating people that been in the district attorney thing for damn near 30 years. Good looking out, Bobby Mayo, on the donation. Bobby Mayo, what Bobby Mayo say? What up, my dog? Good looking out, Bobby Mayo. Bobby Mayo was always donate. But you hear that though, Bobby Mayo? This shit is crazy.
Soros Politics of Crime. Shocking new reporting revealing the extent of George Soros' influence over America's justice system, according to Capital Research. Soros.
America, see that, Bobby Mayo? America's justice system. St. Louis, Philadelphia, Alabama, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, huh? All of these are liberal. All these are, murder is up. 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 All these crime is up. Murder is up. 100%, 200%. Everybody getting out of jail. George Gorson, right? This fool finna get recalled.
Has thrown $29 million into dozens of political races, including many of the top DAs in the country.
These DAs are usually highly unqualified, such as the 2018 candidate for district attorney that he spent millions backing in San Diego, Genevieve Jones-Wright. Normally, these unqualified DAs wouldn't stand a chance against someone like Summer Stephan in San Diego, who has had decades of experience and is very popular with her community and with police for being someone fair and trustworthy.
Right? That she was fair and trustworthy, right? And the police said he was fair and trustworthy. right? They both lost to somebody George Soros was funded by. Decades with the job, with the first comers in these liberal ass cities come in, get funded by George Soros, tell the people what they want to hear, and get them motherfuckers out. Oh, he had a long history. He could have changed this. He could have done that. He could have done this. I would do this. I would change that. I would make sure that I would put money here. I would put money there. Tell them everything they want to hear. And then when they get in office, everything turned out to be worse.
Barton and Wall represent a split in criminal justice ideology raging in Oregon right now and across the country. Barton is backed by many in law enforcement who think recent drops in crime rates are due to tough laws that keep dangerous people locked up.
Dangerous people. The dude who the police supporting, right, had a lower crime rate because the criminals stayed in jail longer. More consequences, that mean the criminals thought about shit or committed crimes a little less because they knew the consequences. But with no consequences, more crimes. And that's exactly what a George Soros-funded district attorney wants.
Others say prisons are bankrupting states.
But with a few $1 million help from George Soros, all that changes, and you suddenly have a candidate whose only experience as a public defender trying to keep criminals out of jail.
By phone last week, Wall told me he's pushing for more drug rehab and mental health treatment, which Barton says the county is already doing.
But they want to put extra, right? Extra funded. That means the funding of the police. That means when he went in the house, when the liberals went in the house and preached to the people, right, saying we're going to take money from the police and put it in these programs. That's why they kept on saying, well, we're going to take money out of the police and we're going to refund this program and refund this and rebuild that. They done this shit and they ain't done nothing with the money. You ain't saying no communities getting built. You ain't saw no mental health evaluators. You ain't saw these damn social worker police. You ain't saw nothing. Nothing.
We had some more questions for Wall. We asked for an on-camera interview, but he refused unless we agreed to steer the interview away from questions about George Soros.
You can ask me anything you want, but just not about George Soros. Because you got your ass up here and lied. That's what was the whole interview about. How you say you wasn't getting funded by George Soros, and we saw these PACs when you got 12,000 and you got 9,000. But you get on here talking about you only got 1,000, We want to know about where these PACs come from, George Soros. You got on here and lied in front of the people. I want to talk about anything about George Soros. That's why the people need to know the truth. They need to know who funded these candidates and where the money coming from, and then decide, like, okay, do I want to support somebody who get money from these type of people, right? Because if he get money from them type of people, that means he share their ideas, because ain't nobody gonna put that much money in behind somebody if they don't share their ideas, right? So what he say in public is probably different than what he really running on. You got to check his donors, right? Say if I'm a Klansman or the KKK, right? And I'm getting money, and I'm saying I'm not a KKK, and I'm being accused of being KKK. But then and I'm pushing these policies, but then my highest donations come from the KKK. That don't look suspicious, They getting money from George Soros. I'm not getting money from George Soros. I'm not getting no money from billionaires. All of them say that, right? Even Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. But it's known that George Soros gave them millions on both sides. Fuck it, I get both. I don't care who win. To me, I'm going to give both of y'all money.
The rumors that you're hearing are simply untrue.
It's really just their experiment in their worldview that they're trying to superimpose on Washington counties.
I really think that people are leaving out half the story, which are Kevin Barton's contributions, which come from people with a vested interest in maintaining the status quo in Washington County, which we all know needs reform.
Let's say, so the question comes up, how does this $21,000 that Wall got from outside groups compare to donations to the other candidates?
Well, it's the biggest donation by far. The largest donation that Kevin Barton has is $10,000, and that's from the Washington County Police Officers Association.
That's a whole damn organization that donated to her. He got one person donated to him twice. That has nothing to do with all the other donations he got, the 1,000 and this and from the other people that he got, right? That was just the two major donations, 12 and 9, when she got 10. Huh? That's double what she got. And that's a small community. It starts off small and it goes real big. Right? These are small races, right? Compared to the big races that we know he funded in Philadelphia, in Alabama, Los Angeles, New York.
Thank you. Well, LA County's district attorney says his plans for sweeping justice reforms will not be slowed by his own prosecutors, who have now sued him over some of the new orders. And
this is a George Soros backed district attorney. George Gaston, right? It got so bad in LA they got Jackie Lacey out, who was friends with the police, and the police loved her, but they tried to say Jackie Lacey was too friendly with the police and she was covering up for the police and all that other shit, and got her out of there, right? The same thing with old boy, and got Gaston in. Now you see what happened: murder, robbery, crime is a mess in Los Angeles because of Gaston.
now a judge will hear arguments on whether the newly elected DA has gone beyond what the law allows.
DA George Gascon says he believes he's doing what voters elected him to do, to upend the criminal justice system by reducing punishment for most crimes.
That's not what they want you to do. They didn't say no shit like that, right? I'm pretty sure when you was going into them people's houses, you're like, oh, do you want people to get out? Because if people get out, it's going to be less crime. We're going to let people out faster, and that's what's going to reduce the crime. We're not going to charge them for the crime, or we're going to give them no bail. That's going to make crime go down. They wouldn't have voted for no shit like that. I don't think nobody would have voted for no shit like that. We're going to release criminals. We're going to make felonies misdemeanors, and we're going to have no cash bail, meaning they're going to get out as soon as they go in. I don't think they would have voted for that shit. I don't even think the criminals would have voted for that shit.
He says while he understands his reform agenda may need some fine-tuning, he won't be deterred, and says in a statement, despite today's legal challenge, I believe a collaborative path exists to achieve these goals based on what research shows, what voters want, and what LA County deserves.
Well, that shit ain't working because the voters are trying to get your ass up out of there fast. You got criminals talking about they want to get your name tattooed on their face. Right? You got another criminal over the phone professing his love to you for getting his ass off of murder, you know what I'm saying, with gang, off of life and the death penalty with gang allegations and a murder. Right? He on there bragging about how you saved his life. Now he don't get the death penalty. He only going to get a couple of years and he going to be glad to come home. He ain't even get life for murder. These are the type of people that love Gaston. But the people who don't love him are the people trying to get his ass out of there. The everyday working person, the person that's scared to go to the store, the person that's scared to shop, the person that's scared to walk down the street, this person that's scared to stop at a light. Huh? The person that's scared when they see somebody come with a COVID mask walking down the street. They got a different color than them. That's who is nervous now. You got them scared as hell.
The union that represents most LA County DA's office prosecutors filed legal actions today that ask for an order blocking Gascon's directive that banned the use of second and third strike allegations that can result in much longer prison terms for repeat offenders.
Right? And I know about the second and third strike. You commit too many crimes, like you go to rob. Like what happens is, right? Is this what happens, right? If you commit a violent crime, right, which is robbery, you know what I'm saying, assault, anything violent, right, you get something called a strike, right, and you get regular time, right? If you sell drugs, that's not a strike. Like burglary is not a strike. Stealing shit is not a strike, right? But hardcore felonies is a strike, right? You usually do about 5 or 10 years for them or something like that, right? So you get a strike. If you go back to jail on another violent crime, right, what they're going to do is they're going to give you 2 strikes, right? And they're going to give you double the time that you had, because now you got 2 strikes. So if you got 7 years, they give you 7 years. They're going to add another 7 on, right? They will add another 7 on, and they're going to add another 5 on, and then you got to do 85%. You no longer get halftime, right? And then if you come back for the 3rd time on the same thing or a different violent offense, they give you 25 usually. You know what I'm saying? Or they give you double the time. They give you 3 strikes. And you got to do 85% of triple time. So your time goes up. The more time you go to jail for a violent crime. People stop wanting to go to jail for violent crime because you get double the time, right? And you get an enhancement on just a regular charge. So people was getting scared of that. So since they start knocking off enhancements, start giving people regular time, and people start getting their halftime back and then getting 22% and then getting out of prison early, they said, fuck it. Right? No strikes, you know what I'm saying? No shit like that. We getting charged regular time. I'm getting 2 years for the same for the same thing I would have got 7 years for, like just 5 years ago. And then out of that 2 years, I'm only gonna do a year, maybe. They're going crazy.
Gascon implemented a blanket policy that doesn't consider the individual facts of each case.
The DA has the right to set the policies of the office. We are not challenging those.
Eric Sedal with the Deputy DA's Association says the case is focused on only some of Gascon's directives, the ones he says conflict with state law. He says those directives have put prosecutors in what he says are impossible positions in court.
Impossible positions because the district attorneys, right, they can't prosecute now. Right? Because there's certain laws and stipulations that they got to add in or take out, you know what I'm saying, it's making it impossible for them to even hold a criminal in jail because they giving them bail at court, letting them out of jail right there in court. You come to a court, right, and you give bail, and then you don't come back to court no more. Now you got warrants. Now they got to catch you. They catch you, bring you to jail for the warrant. You serve your time for the warrant, you know what I'm saying? You got to go back to court, and they let your ass out again. Tell you to come back, they put an ankle monitor on you. So you know what I'm saying? So they say they know where you at. You can do everything you've been doing, but we're just gonna put an ankle monitor on you. You take that off, then you're gonna stay in jail. They give you like 3 opportunities to stay out of jail, right? They let you out, you violate it, let your ass out again, then they put an ankle monitor on your ass. So you get it like 3 times. And people fuck up on all of them.
Having to decide to either follow the letter of the law or the elected DA's orders.
We swear an oath to follow the state constitution and to uphold the laws of California and the United States, not to follow the directives of one individual.
And that individual is George damn Soros. Huh? It's George Soros. Because remember when the black lady was in the district attorney's office, the police respected her. But Black Lives Matter went to her house talking about she's protecting the police, and they want her out. Got her out and got his ass in. And when he got in, murder, crime, police morale, police numbers, everything is dropped or went higher for the wrong damn reasons, on the wrong damn side.
Well, LA District Attorney Jackie Lacey is apologizing for a terrifying incident that occurred right outside her own home. Her husband pulled a gun on Black Lives Matter activists.
This confrontation comes one day before Lacey is up for re-election. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Grom.
You see that? One day before re-election, they forced her husband to protect, right? To protect his household. Can you get one day before the election? You know how many black people had that in their head one day before the election? All the shit Black Lives Matter was saying, now the husband pulled a gun on the protesters. Oh, they was mad at Jackie Lacey. This is exactly what what all the Black Lives Matter was talking about. How she protecting the police, right? How she don't like black people, how she don't do this. Her husband just proved all of it. We need to get her ass out of here. This is all on social media. all on the Black Lives Matter page, all on fake news, all on local news. Everybody saw this the day before they went into make their vote. They didn't see Gaston do this shit. Gaston was funded by George Soros. Everything they heard about Gaston was positive. We're going to reform this. We're going to redo that. We're going to take the funding over here and put it over there. We're gonna, all they heard was positive. With Jackie Lacey, all they saw was a raged nut with a gun.
Is following the situation and is live in downtown Los Angeles with more. Carlos?
Well, this is what happened. Protesters from Black Lives Matter went to Jackie Lacey's home.
Ain't the protesters always going to people's home that they don't like? They went to the judge's home, right? Now they went to Black Lives Matter home. They always going to somebody's house they don't like and protesting and making people defend themselves. Oh, shit.
Very early this morning, and it appears the protesters went onto the property to go ring the doorbell. Well, that's when Jackie Lacey's husband opened the door and pulled out a gun.
When is it finally trespassing? When do you have the right to protect yourself, right? When do you have the right to protect your property or your family, right? When someone rings your doorbell, what's next? What if you don't answer? How long they gonna stay at your door? They know you in there and you're not answering the door, right? What do? What are they gonna do? Right? You have to protect yourself. But since he protected his household and his property and his family, him and his wife was accused of being bad people that protect the police and don't care about the black community.
Get off.
Good morning.
Get off of my porch. I will shoot you. Get off of my porch.
Can you tell Jackie Lacey that we're here?
I don't care who you are. Get off of my porch right now. We're calling the police right now.
He just said, get off my porch, right? Can you talk to Jackie Lane? This was circling all through social media, right? That right there. Get off my porch. Are you going to shoot me? I'm going to shoot you. That's all they heard. I'm going to shoot you. Oh, I'm not voting for that son of a bitch.
Well, as you can see, it was all caught on cell phone video. David Lacey pointing the gun while threatening to shoot if they did not leave the property.
Huh? While threatening to shoot if they didn't leave the property. That was all in the head the day before the election. They going into the polls mad as a motherfucker at Jackie Lacey and her husband, right? Black Lives Matter instigated that whole thing. George Soros funded.
Now, Lacey and her husband were seen leaving the home a short time later. According to members of Black Lives Matter, the group was protesting in front of the house because she wouldn't meet with them.
She wouldn't meet with them. I'm protesting your house. I'm running the campaign. I'm trying to get reelected. I got a job to do. I can't worry about you sons of bitches.
The LAPD did come to the home. No one was arrested. This comes as Lacey is running for re-election, and she's in a tough race against former San Francisco DA George Gascon and former LA County Public Defender Rachel Rossi. Lacey says this morning her husband reacted in fear, and she apologized.
Acting in fear? You sons of bitches on my porch, right? You know I'm here with signs and banners. You sons of bitches violent. You burn stuff down, right? It wasn't no police there protecting me. I said I got to call the police. The police wasn't there. Think about this. She's the district attorney, and the police wasn't there to stop the Black Lives Matter protesters from going on their porch. If the police was there, if they was doing their job, right, he wouldn't need to pull no gun. He had to say, I'm going to go call the police. They've been out there for hours. Huh? You didn't talk to me. They was across the street for hours probably. Right? The police didn't offer the district attorney no protection at her place of residence. Think about it. George Soros funded.
It was just him and I in that house. And we really didn't know what was about to happen.
Huh? If she was white and a Democrat, oh, it would have been over with. They would have never done no shit like that. I don't know a political party, But whatever it was, the Black Lives Matter don't like what she was doing. And she said she don't know what would have happened. The same thing as the white couple, right, that didn't know what was going to happen when the Black Lives Matter came on their property and he pulled a gun. You don't know what they're capable of. You have to defend yourself. But when you defend yourself, when they instigate shit and you defend yourself, you are persecuted.
I'm a public servant. I've dedicated my life to the profession that stands up for victims of violent crime. And I'm not ashamed of that.
Now she's talking about she stand up for victims of violent crime. She believed that. But they think she stand up for the police. What's wrong with standing up with for the police? What's wrong with having what's wrong with having the people who you work with back? What's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything you protecting police officers sometimes. Because everything that Black Lives Matter accuse certain people of, they overdo it, overextend it. A scratch would be a cut, and a bullet would be a bomb. They overdo it. So you can never trust what they say.
She has refused to engage the public that elected her, and it's her duty to do so. So if she won't do it, what choice does the public have?
You see what I'm saying? What choice do the public have? You do a gun and you won't talk to us? And she made that black lady, another black woman, got on here and made another black woman look bad. Right? And all for the name of white people. George Soros and George Gascon. A black lady got here and publicly bashed another black woman, right? Put another black man in a situation, put all that information on social media, saying they won't talk to you like you somebody, all for the name of the white man. Congratulations, Black Lives Matter.
Now, regarding the incident this morning, Lacey says now the LAPD will investigate and then, if appropriate, it will bring it to an independent prosecutor's office for review, and also the
that nigga driving by like, yeah, nigga, I'm be on the news, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or you tell somebody like, hey, nigga, I saw you on the bike on the news, nigga. You was coming from work, nigga. You was driving by when they was talking about that Lacey Peters. That I was, nigga. Let me see it. I got a TiVo, nigga. Your crackhead ass was on the bike, nigga. How was I looking? Smoked out? Like you was homeless, nigga, like your ass is, nigga, on a bike, nigga.
California Attorney General's office will assist the LAPD in this investigation to keep it a separate investigation.
And Kathy and Robert, the issue over the 3 strikes is because it's part of California's 3 strikes law, and it's different from some of Gascon's other orders because prosecutors say voters passed specific laws that require those strikes to be added. Now, one official in Gascon's office says they expected to face legal challenges. In fact, Gascon himself has said he thought he'd have to defend some of these reform ideas in court, though perhaps not quite this soon after taking office.
There's Soros.
Huh? Not that soon after taking office. Who was that? George Gascon. Right? Who was he funded by? George Soros. All these sons of bitches. Let's get into them.
It's a radical left-wing open border ideologue who is either very misguided or has found some way to profit off of the demise of law and order in this country and of sophistication in this country.
I think it's because George Soros is a little more of an ideologue than even he likes to admit. Since about 2015, he spent $29 million to elect almost 24 district attorney candidates.
24. That's over 20.
All of them radically left-wing across the country. Universally, they endorse policies that are bad for our cities. And it's part of, in my opinion, one of his utopian experiments at an idea he calls the open society. Mm-hmm. He's decided to create one of the largest political experiments ever using our cities as guinea pigs, all in the name of helping the oppressed and urban communities that he professes to care about.
That nigga don't look. Think about this. This nigga robbed whole countries. When he was little, he was working with the enemy to rob his own people. Right? He banned from certain countries. Right? He tests certain things on African people. You think his heart lies in the United States? You think he loves America that much where he just want to help the poor and help the needy and help the criminal justice system and this reform America and make America great? Do you think he have any likings or any interest in doing anything like that? Hell no. He said it himself. He doesn't care. He's about making money. He doesn't care about how he lead the country. That's not what his care is. His care is money. So evidently he's making money if he's spending it, or he making or he just trying to leave his mark on some shit. But his ass finna die soon. I mean, pretty soon. Ain't no telling if he want the whole world to go with him. Fuck it.
That's how you end up with DAs like Kim Foxx in Cook County, Illinois. She won her election with money from Soros and then pushed through policies like not charging shoplifters who stole less than $1,000, which of course saw a massive surge in shoplifting. If only someone could have seen that coming.
Why that happened? That law was in LA, New York. Why is it that shoplifting of $1,000 was in every single city, right, that had a George Soros funded DA? Every single one of them, not a one, not a two, in New York, Albany, all of them, San Diego, all of them. Every last single one.
She's also the same woman who disgraced herself with the mishandling of the Jussie Smollett's hate crime hoax against himself last year.
Juicy. Right? This is what George Soros funded district attorneys do. They fuck up the system. They manipulate. They make deals. They help out their friends. Right? They in touch. Remember they was in touch with Barack Obama. Remember, Barack Obama and them knew about this shit. Michelle Obama, they was having conversations. It was a middle woman, I think it was a lawyer or some Asian woman, but they had conversations with Michelle Obama about Juicy. Come on, Kim Foxx, George Soros.
Soros also wants to degrade our quality of life here in America. We live too nice, too comfortably. We should feel guilty for living better than people in the third world countries.
Shit. You ain't got to feel bad for, you know what I'm saying? You just hit the country lottery. You can't be feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they not feeling bad. They want to get over here, but they not feeling bad. Some of them like hunting and living off the trees and taking baths in the damn river and shit like that. They consider themselves with the nature. They don't want to pay no rent or no shit like that. They consider themselves part of the nature. They eating bats and toenails and shit, right? They part of nature. But America is the place. Fuck that.
If they can't live in clean cities, neither should we.
In the city of Philadelphia, for example, Soros-backed Larry Krasner. And the murder rate there is the highest it has been in a decade.
Huh? That quick. The murder rate. Every city they touched has turned into shit.
Krasner's main priority, though, is to get even softer on crime.
San Francisco is a perfect example of this. We all know how the city has become a byword for degeneration, crime, homelessness, and filthy streets. So Soros gets people like San Francisco DA Chesa Boudin, who refuses to prosecute people for peeing or defecating in the streets. You can't make this up. He stated in his campaign that he will not prosecute people for camping in the streets or blocking sidewalks or even soliciting public sex.
Huh? So this prostitutes, they're not prosecuting anything in these liberal cities. Donald Trump warned you about this. He said every city will become a Portland. Does every city look like it's becoming a Portland? Under the Democrats' rule, George Soros' money, and Black Lives Matter message. Huh? We run on all of them, and all three of them is fucked up.
And he's also on board for defunding the police. Of course, why would you need them? They aren't even allowed to do their jobs. Imagine that. But what would you expect from a guy who was raised by parents who were not only members of the left-wing terrorist group, it really is a terrorist group, I'm not just being dramatic, but were also convicted for murdering 2 police officers and a security guard.
Damn. George Soros' parents was a beast. He learned from the best. Who was his parents? Bonnie and Clyde or some shit? Who in the fuck was George Soros' parents? Was murdering up shit. Huh? Were they spies like me? They got convicted. They killed the security guard. They killed the police and the security guard. Did they kill him at the same time? What the hell did the police doing to the security guard or the security guard doing to the police? You have to kill him at different, like you just hated law enforcement at all levels. I'm glad he didn't get to somebody that was in the ROTC in high school or some shit like I hate every Boy Scout or some shit like that. That would have been low. I hate everything that got a badge on it. This nigga killed 2 police officers and a security guard just, you know what I'm saying, just for the kicks and giggles. That's just to watch the murder of the 2 cops down. They had to kill a security guard. Like, you know what? I just killed 2 cops. Let's go the ultimate triple threat and just say, fuck it, go kill a security guard. I don't want to kill another cop. These motherfuckers evil, just like their son.
And then you have St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, whose campaign got major boosting from Soros and who announced she was bringing felony charges against Mark and Patricia McCloskey.
Right? For defending their property. The black people defended their property, right? And she got voted out of office. The white folks defended their property against Black Lives Matter, both of them against the same group, and they went to jail and got convicted. They can come to your shit, but if you defend your shit, you're wrong.
Is it any wonder that you have entire cities now burning down and criminals running free?
You found that Soros started this in 2016.
Look. Soros started this in 2016, right? And you know why Soros started this shit, right? Remember, Soros lost money when Donald Trump became president. He bet against Donald Trump and lost millions. It was said to believe he lost millions because he bet against Donald Trump and lost millions. How do you revenge Donald Trump? How do you get Donald Trump back? You create chaos and racism and everything that's aimed at Donald Trump. You sponsor everything about Donald Trump hatred. You put your money behind it. Now you got a new mission. It started in 2016. George Soros stepped up his wrath with all the extra caravans over the border and all. I mean, ever since 2016, it's been something new. All in the hatred of Donald Trump.
This in 2016, what he's doing now with the DAs and part of the resistance to Donald Trump, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, kind of a focal point that shows how Soros was using these DAs as part of his resistance agenda. He's elected, I think, 4 district attorneys, maybe 5, in Texas, where the immigration crisis was a serious problem. These DAs refused to comply with ICE. They would help create sanctuary cities. They would not prosecute misdemeanor crimes committed by people here in the country illegally.
George Soros got district attorneys, right, inside of Texas that's not prosecuting illegals, that help build sanctuary cities, not deporting people. These are the people George Soros put in, right? They help fuck up the border. They helped Joe Biden, too, fuck up the border. Because Joe Biden could easily go over there like, you motherfuckers is fired. Or you get your shit together and start prosecuting people. But these DAs are ahead of prosecutions and shit like that and just letting people go by. Letting them live here. Not enforcing the laws. Get their ass out of here. They hate Donald Trump.
And that was part of the resistance to Trump's common sense immigration reforms.
These are the people Soros and the Democrats want to be in charge of our justice system. He will continue promoting and installing puppet district attorneys across the country, ensuring that every neighborhood in America will soon look like this.
Look like that. Like Portland. Right? Now, hopefully, I got y'all mind off the other situation that happened today just for a little while, but it's going to come up again, and it's going to come up in conversations, it's going to come up on the news, it's going to come up in debates, it's going to come up later on down the line, because this is so far that was the third worst attack on a school in the United States history, the third worst. It could, because first it was 14 people earlier, now it's 18. You know what I'm saying? People are still passing away. So you still got to pray for the kids and for teachers and all. I mean, even his grandmother. The nigga killed his grandmother. He killed his grandmother before he went and killed the people at school. Right? What kind of sick son of a bitch does that? What kind of sick somebody, we have to understand mental health, and then when people glorify this shit, these other people who are mentally disturbed get ideas too. CNN and even Fox need to stop glorifying. Fox don't glorify it as much, but people need to stop glorifying these killers with news coverage, days and hours and songs and seeing people cry. Some people want to see that. They want to see people cry. They want to see misery. They want to see death. They want to see murder. They want to see pain. Right? Because they feel they in pain. They feel they enraged. They feel they ought to hurt somebody. It'll make them feel good. They don't care if they die or go to jail forever. Right? Dude, look how people still talking about Sandy Hook. People don't, these people are mentally ill. That's why you need to put some real mental health experts inside these schools. You need to put some real police inside of these schools. I'm guaranteed you he wouldn't have killed that many students if the teacher had a gun and there was a armed officer in the gun. In the school. There's people fighting against armed security officers or armed police inside of schools. Who in the hell is these people? Liberals. Why would you fight for police or school security not to be inside of a school? That's stupid. And then you want to cry when this type of shit happen. You are part at fault if you voting these damn Democrats in and they leaving these schools vulnerable with your kids. Because they want to let people out. They want to claim they want to do something about mental health. They want to claim they want to do something about guns. But this shit going to happen again next month. Probably a different circumstance. Could be a mall. Could be a store. Could be, we don't know. It could be a church. We don't know what the next one's going to be. But people going to get on TV and say the same exact thing. People are hurting people with this pain, singing songs and shit like that. You glorifying them. And you glorifying the dude. He's still, the dude from last week is still on the news. But guess what? His ass just got eliminated because guess what? We got something more important. This dude that just killed these kids, he probably took other dude in Buffalo and said, I take your idea and I'm finna double it. Huh? I'm not gonna do no racist shit. I'm gonna do something even, that had nothing to do with race, right? I'm gonna do something this hideous. They can't blame this on white supremacy. Say, oh, he killed his grandmother and went and shot up the school because what he heard on social media. What on social media said, shoot up the school and kill your grandmother? What the fuck kind of channel was that on 4chan or Bat Chat or the Dark Web? What kind of fucking channel was that? So you want to outdo dude in New York or Buffalo, go kill your grandmother and kill some kids. That'll get you off on the news and wipe him off. You mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most evil of them all? Evidently, it's the motherfucker that's killed 18 fucking kids. He's the most evilest one of them all. This shit is crazy. And it become a part of our culture. Like, you can't get shocked at it no more. So I don't know why the Democrats always act and everybody, we gotta stop this. This can no longer happen. They say that with the gangs. They say that with the racism. They say that with the police. Right? They say that with the killing of kids. Every time something happen like that, right? Somebody get on TV talking about how we not gonna let it happen again. The next week and next day you don't hear nothing from the niggas. But as soon as the camera's up, they want to, we are not going to let this happen again in our community. And then, next day, 3 more motherfuckers died. Camera just ain't going to go over that and cover it again. As your ass, they'll cover your ass next year, but not when they just left and 3 other motherfuckers just died and 5 other people just got shot. Huh? We don't know the truth because they don't tell us the truth. You need more mental health experts to evaluate people, right? That should be the main damn infrastructure in America. Some of that Build Back Better plan should have went to funding the education of health workers and mental health workers to treat, you know what I'm saying, the mentally ill. That could be a way to end drug addiction. Suicide, homicide. You can reduce all that with mental health. Not no damn social worker. Not defunding the police. Mental health. Right? What happened to all the scientists with mental health? You get up and hit the body health and the flu health and the experts and all that shit. But what about the mental health experts? I ain't saw one yet. Donald Trump warned you, like, you got people killing each other and you worried about this. You got people killing themselves because they're in the house fucked up. But you worried about this. Donald Trump was telling people, we got to get people back to work. These people going to be crazy. We don't know what this shit come from. All of a sudden there's a spike in everything. And ain't nobody trying to say nothing, especially the Biden administration. Ain't nobody trying to say shit. The nigga today said, or yesterday say, gas is doing its job. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. That's a good thing. We got to know the truth. And the truth is, like George Soros said, we don't even know if this is fit to be the end. Right? Because now China mad. They got shit that can't even be detected. How you gonna go to war over Taiwan and China got missiles that your ass can't even detect? How you gonna keep the country safe? You keep fucking with people, you gonna ask and you gonna get exactly what you want. And we gotta die for it. Somebody. I think the missile gonna hit the East Coast before motherfucker hit the West. We on the last of the edge. If the earth were flat, we'd be on the edge. Right? But everything in the world is messed. Like I done a video. Everything is messed up in the world right now. Besides comedy and entertainment and shit like that, there's nothing to look forward to because everything else is fucking pain. You turn on the TV, pain. Turn on the news, pain. Go to the gas pump, pain. Go to the grocery store, pain. Bill coming, pain. Job tripping, pain. Everything, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have some kind of relief or some kind of stress reliever just so you can deal with the shit that's going on in the world. But now they're even trying to take that. They're trying to take away comedy. They're trying to take away conservative. I mean, if you joke and you don't say the jokes that they want to talk about or they want to hear, they're gonna ban your ass. If you make jokes on the topics that they support, right? They're gonna ban your ass. Who I got a donation from? Oh shit, Samantha Roberts. Good looking out. It's not notifications or your videos. I love your content. Good looking out, Samantha. Roberts. I was just on the rampage because this dumb son of a bitch, you know what I'm saying, that's just shot up these schools. I mean, these like, you can't get no sicker than that. Like, I don't understand mental health, but it has to be something done about it. I see it every day when I walk out the house, right? I see mental health. I talk to people with mental health, right? And it's a lot of people that are mentally ill because of the drugs. It used to be programs where if you was too damn cracked out, they would arrest you and make you do a rehab. They don't do them laws no more. The mental, look, we're overdosing, mental ill, abortions. I mean, the Democratic Party is the party of death. The party of death. There ain't nothing good coming out of the Democratic Party. You think death and all this old shit is not going to go up when people can't pay rent? When people lose their job? When inflation hit this motherfucker? And people that was well off ain't well off no more and can't recover? You think people ain't going to go crazy? People ain't going to be able to take it. If it's fucked up now, imagine how fucked up it'll be in another 2-3 years. Who's that, Captain Kirk? Get looking out, Captain Kirk. I'm 46, Captain Kirk. I'll be 46 in a couple of minutes, huh? I'll be 46 in 30 minutes. 46 years old, Kirk. Good looking out, Captain. And thank you for the birthday donation. Right? But I'm celebrating life, and somebody's got their life ended. That's crazy how life goes. They was supposed to be here, and they was supposed to be the future. Like, you know, you could have killed future preachers or future politicians and future world leaders, or you know, that was the future. The Democrats, I mean, it's not their fault. I can never blame the Democrats' fault, but it's a way you'll never be able to prevent all of them, right? Especially by taking away no guns. But you can help them. Get these people some help. Everybody knows some of these sons of bitches is crazy. We in high school, we know who the crazy people is, who the loners are, who the people who need to talk, who be talked to, even in our neighborhood. There's nothing wrong with getting people help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Some people don't know how to ask for help. You don't know if this little nigga was asking for help. Right? We don't know. I don't know why they're gonna come up with some connections later on and shit, but I'm pretty sure he didn't leave nothing on no manifesto about doing nothing to no little kids or nothing like that. One day after to go, hopefully he didn't do no shit like that. Right? And you can't say, oh, I wish he would have, why he go after kids, he could have went. I mean, either way, he still went after some. I heard somebody like, man, that's fucked up, he went after little kids. He should have at least went after some adults or some teenagers. I'm thinking to my like, how sick is that? Like, he shouldn't have went after nobody. It got to the point where we expect this shit so much, and we so detached from emotion from this stuff. Is like we coming up with shit that make it less sensitive. Like, and it didn't make no sense, but it did kind of make sense. Like, even though you don't want nobody to die, but you don't want them to die. Like, I felt just as bad when the people got killed in Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? The black people in Buffalo, as I feel about the kids that got killed in Texas. It's the same thing, but it's like a different emotion. Like, why would he go after old people? He could have went out, you know what I'm saying, that's a young. Then when they get to the young, it's like, why did he go after the young people? He could like, you both ways. Like, why did he go after somebody young and why did he go after somebody old? And I'm pretty sure if it was in the middle, like, why he would have went after the females, it would always have been a what if. Right? There's no way to stop these mass shootings because they happen all the time. But they're not reported all the time. And the thing is, with a little mental health and things like that, you can probably greatly reduce the amount of mass shootings, including the ones that happen in our community, because the only mass shootings is not the ones that happen in schools. They happen on street corners and clubs, and it happens all them. But not many people get shot and killed like this at a high rate and number like this because they was entrapped. I mean, that's just fucked up. Like, it ain't no words for it. You know, and you want to do something to, like, I hope somebody, like, you don't wish nothing bad happen to nobody, but if you just hear that an 18-year-old that done some shit got a broomstick stuck in his ass in prison, you wouldn't be mad, right? If you heard that before trial, right, they found his head in a damn toilet and his body on the bed, right, you wouldn't be mad. You'd be like, okay, I can understand, right? Like, we don't understand, like the justice system sometimes is kind of, I'm glad he don't have a day in court, you know what I'm saying, but the other fool have a day in court, so we're going to keep reliving that. Some people shouldn't have the opportunity or the ability to say not guilty and waste taxpayers' money, waste, give this dude glory. He going back to court. People filming him going back to court. He writing books in jail, and, you know what I'm saying? And he's a movie star now. They treat him like a movie star. He said not guilty. Now they got to go to trial and relive everything over and bring witnesses and bring experts and all this whole shit. Like, some people should, like, not have the ability to say not guilty. We know you're guilty. It should be a law in it, like, guaranteed guilty. Something like, I got this motherfucker with a gun. I got 100,000 witnesses. I got this motherfucker on camera. I got him coming out the building with the gun, smoking with the weapon. I arrested him. He confessed and told me why. We got a video of him saying he was going to do it, right? Why should we give him the ability to say not guilty? Huh? That shouldn't even be on the menu. Not guilty. Huh? Well, that's wasting taxpayers' money. He's guilty. Gone with the penalty. You shouldn't be able to get glamorized and going back and forth to court and make people making mini movies out of you and TV documentaries, and you on every news channel and CNN and Fox and the president talking about you, and I mean the world is talking about you, other countries talking about you, and he get a kick out of it. He ain't never got this much attention in his life. You don't think some other crazy motherfucker wants his attention too? He wanted just as bad as the last dude. Well, that's my show, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna get ready to go outside at 12 o'clock and go buy me some liquor and wake up in the morning drunk. I got a show. If you are in the Los Angeles area, I gotta go on my Instagram. I got a club. It's a free show I'm doing tomorrow at a club. You can come out for free and you can join me, and I'll probably give you a gift. You know what I'm saying? If you come on now, I will give you a gift if you my people. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, you know what I'm saying, come on out and make that trip. My Instagram is Black Rosebud, BLAQ Rosebud, or go to my Facebook channel and get the address. You know, come on out and support your boy for his birthday. I'm out. I'll see y'all maybe the next day, because I'll be turned up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for the donations. Thank y'all for the support. And I'll see y'all on the next one. And God, and please pray for Texas and the families of them kids. They need it. They need the support right now. Thank you. I'm out.